flaring on them. Yeah, we Rick flaring on them, flaring on them. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops and find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring on them, Rick flaring son up.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's backpack, cowboy man, hey Scott, I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at, no cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts, my advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants are with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he off of the leash. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you Bamas out there are having a wonderful Friday. I know I surely am because I'm awake. The Lord has allowed me to see another day. Okay, I have seen another day, and that's all you can be grateful for. So I hope you guys, what's up, P? What's up, Perry? My guy, man. Shout out to all you guys. Shout out to Miss Griffin. Shout out to Alan. Shout out to Mr. Sargent. I saw Mr. Sargent in the chat. Shout out to A.T. Roy. You know what I'm saying? You know, anything going on NCCU, he's like, what we talking about, guy? What we talking about? So you know he gonna be in here. Shout out to Mr. Packnet. Shout out to his wife too as well, Mr. Packnet. Shout out to Craig, my guy Greg. Shout out to Mr. Kincaid. And while I'm doing these shout outs, let me give a shout out to my boy JB. Today is his birthday. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him, as well as shout out to Miss Nicole. Her birthday was yesterday. Shout out to she Alabama State alum. So want to give a shout out to a couple of those guys. I don't know what you Bamas are. You ain't Scorpio, so who gives a damn? You know what I'm saying? See Mike in the chat. Shout out to Mike. You got the eyes on. Listen, if you are FAMU grad, today is your lucky day. You are off the. Ain't nothing to talk about FAMU. Ain't nothing FAMU to be spoken about. So let's just give a round of applause to people that, that FAMU is not being talked about today. Oh, let's just come on, man. You know it's hard for FAMU to stay out these streets. It is hard for FAMU to stay out of these streets. So just want to give them a round of applause. You know, it's just they not in these streets. They not on my topic list today. So listen, man, I'm gonna just be honest with you. First of all, let me say thank you to everybody who's reached out to me and just asking how I'm doing, or checking on me or checking on me and Key. We are good, right? The countdown to baby Scott. July 23rd is the due date, right? So the only thing that I am worried about is NCAA drops July 19th. I need that baby to be on time, not early. Okay, listen to me. Like Kobe say, Shundo. I need that baby to be on time, not early, on time. Because I need a few days to get the sticks in. Okay, I need if he is a son of mine, if he understands his father the way that he should, because he came out my nutsack, right? If he understands his father the way that he should, I need him to know. I need him to understand, son, can I get 3 days, okay? Can I get 2.5 days to play the sticks, to get my NCAA on? Because if this Bama comes early, I'm screwed. I'm screwed, okay? I am screwed. So, don't ask me about no dynasties. If he comes early, don't ask me about no dynasties. I'm not going to be playing the game. I'll have to wait. Okay. Gotta do all the dad stuff, like bottles and stuff. Okay. So I just need him to come. I just need Deuce to come on the 23rd. As long as Deuce comes on the 23rd like he's supposed to, it at least gives me time to hand out some high L's. Okay. I just want to get up on these sticks first. And I got me a PS5. I'm ready. I called my boy Mike. I called my boy Bridges. I said, guys, I got it. Y'all thought it was a game. I told you I was saving my pennies to get. Now, I ain't get one brand new. I am a Facebook marketeer. Okay. I love Facebook Marketplace. Okay. I love Facebook Marketplace. Now, let me tell you this. Okay. Y'all not going to like this, but I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. So, first of all, I bought my PS5 off. I'm going to tell you a little quick story time. Quick story. I promise I'm going to get to the show. I know you Bama's on lunch break. I promise I'm going to get to the show. Quick story time, right? So, I go down to Maryland. I drop my kids off to my mama's house, right? So, while I'm in Maryland, I'm like, oh, I know there's a lot of people here. Because I was looking up in Ohio. It was some PS5s being sold, but I just wasn't. Okay, so I went to Maryland. I'm looking up PS5s. Now, what had came to me while I was in Maryland is you got to understand where you're at and what you're located, right? So, Ohio, especially Canton, Ohio, I'm in the rural area. Like I'm outside of Canton, right? So I'm in the rural area. So I'm not worried about being robbed on Facebook Marketplace. But when you go to the DMV and you're around Baltimore, Prince George's County, DC, you know what I'm saying? Upper Marlboro. Like, you got to be very mindful of where you're purchasing your PS5. You just can't listen. You can't just be purchasing stuff all willy-nilly, because then you show it with money, he show it with a gun, and now you out of whatever you were supposed to pay, right? Like, you might not like that, but that's just life, okay? That's life. That's how life goes. That's just like, listen, Play with your man, but don't play with me. I'm telling you, just giving you facts. Be naive if you want to, right? So you gotta be very careful. And you can't trust every black person in the DMV area or marketplace. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling it like it is. You might not like it, but like Dion said, I ain't lying, right? So I was a little skeptical, right? I was a little skeptical because I'm searching. So if anybody knows the DMV area, there's an area between Gaithersburg and Rockville called Cherry Hill Road, right? Cherry Hill is like a Cherry Hill area, Cherry Hill Lane, Cherry Hill Road. So I saw this white dude. He was in Cherry Hill, right? So I'm texting him. I'm like, yo, you know, like, what's good? Da-da-da-da. He like, yeah, I got it. 300, 300, got 2 controllers. He's like, the disc player don't work, but you can just use it as a digital, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm cool with that. Listen, cheap. I'm cheap. I'm so frugal. I'm like, yeah, cool. So he like, where you want to meet at? I'll meet you there in the next hour. So I was like, yo, you stay by Cherry Hill. Hey, I'm in Montgomery County. Hey, let's meet up in Rockville, right? Like Rockville Pike. Let's meet up in that area, whatever. He's like, all right, cool. So then I send him where to meet up at. Come to find out, the Bama's in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. The Bama is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm like, yo, what? He's like, bro, like, I'm in New Jersey. I'm like, yo, I'm in Maryland. So we laugh it off or whatever. He's like, man, listen, my bad, bro. I didn't know. I said, bro, I ain't know, right? So this is how God works, right? So I was like, listen. He said, bro, I'll ship it to you. So I'm a little skeptical. He said, bro, I'll ship it to you. No biggie. I'll pay for the shipping fees. I said, so this is what we do. I said, this is what we'll do. I said, I'll give you half. I'll give you half now, right? I'll send it to you. Zelle. I'll Zelle you the half. You ship it. Send me the tracking number, right? And then I'll send you the other half, right? I was like, we both got to trust one another. So he does that. And then in the back of my mind, I sent him the 150, send me the tracking number. In the back of my mind, I'm like, he could have put anything in that box, right? Like, he could have put anything in that box. So it was crazy. But long story short, I got my PS5. We friends on Facebook now. That's my guy. Hey, he's solid. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? So little white boy from New Jersey, cool. You know what I'm saying? So listen, man, not everybody's has that much integrity. Okay, I just want to be very clear. I give people. I like to trust people, man. I'm like, listen, man. $150, $300. Like, it is what it is. If you miss out, you miss out. But I appreciate him for being honest and for us both being honest with each other. I paid him the money. He gave me the PS5. So now I'm right. All is good with the world. I'm ready for college football. Okay. I'm ready. Prepared. Okay. I am prepared. So just want to give you that quick little update. All right. You saw what the topics are. You already know what it is. This show today is sponsored by Elite 15. You want to do things in an elite way? Make sure you get yourself some Elite 15 coffee. Link is in the description below. Elite 15 coffee. Columbia roast, pot roast, duck roast. It don't matter. They roasting it. Don't matter. They roasting it. Okay. Top level, black owned, veteran owned business. Make sure you support. All right. Go get you some Elite 15 coffee today. Okay. Today. And I hope all y'all had a great 4th of July as well. Hope you guys had a great 4th of July. 4th of. Y'all know what I'm talking about. 4th of July. Okay. Now, I want to give you guys an update. Swag the media days. All right. Media days. SWAC, July 16th, 11 Eastern time, 10 Central, as well as the MEAC, July 23rd. 12, 11 Central. You already know what it is, man. Jay and Tiffany. Jay asking them boring ass questions as Perry does so well. What hot sauce do you like on your chicken? Who's the best band? All that dumb stuff. Like no football questions, but hey, listen, Perry does it way better than I do. But you already know what it is. Media days coming up. SWAC July 16th. MEAC July 23rd. Definitely. And you know me, I'm definitely going to do a review. Okay, thank you, Ms. Griffin. And the SIAC is July 10th. Okay, so that should be coming up, this Tuesday? Yeah, because me and Key's anniversary is on Monday, July 8th. So, yeah, that'll be Wednesday. So, Wednesday, July 10th will be the SIAC's media day as well. So, shout out to them. Nobody cares about the CAA. All right. So, just want to give you that update. And listen, I know I don't talk about my 1-year alum. You know what I'm saying? Claflin University. Shout out to Claflin. Okay. Wasn't long enough there. Wasn't there long enough to know the slogan, but it's all right. It's all right. I still be repping Claflin. All right. You see me, got the burgundy on as well. So listen, shout out to Claflin, right? Just opened up their 30. I just saw the video of their $30 million student center. Okay. $30 million. Now, when I went there in 07, 08, it was not like that, okay? It was rough. It was rough. But now they are living the high life. Shout out to Dr. Womack at Claflin University, continuing to doing big things out there. I'm still waiting for my honorary degree. But I'm going to tell you this. Keep playing with me, Claflin. Keep playing with me. And when I blow up, I'm going to get one from Tuskegee. Keep playing with me. Somebody gonna give me an honorary degree, Claflin. And I talked to Dr. Womack. Dr. Womack reached out to me. I was like, he was like, you trying to get your degree? I was like, yeah. He's like, you got military experience. We can make this. You got an associate's degree. Haven't heard back. Haven't heard back nothing. Ain't hit my line about no degree, no credits, no nothing. So either we get this degree plan in order, or I'm asking Tuskegee University, can I get an honorary degree? And I'm going to be balling parlay. I don't want one from Talladega. I don't want one. I want something. I want something that going to mean something, right? I want Tuskegee. I want one of them. I was thinking about FAM, but they be in too much shit, man. I ain't trying to have my honorary degree. Everybody be like, hey, man, didn't you? Nah, I don't want to be that person, okay? I don't want to be that person. Because when you get a part of FAMU, you got to brag. Because it's FAMU, so you got to brag, right? So that's just how that works, right? So if you bragging about FAMU, then you got to take all the crud that comes with bragging about being at FAMU. And you don't want nobody to know that. I mean, they going to know, but you don't want people to know, because then when shit hits the fan, then they know that that's you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. So I do. No, Alabama State never. Alabama State never. UAPB never. Perry from Pine Bluff and didn't even graduate from UAPB. Miss me. You think I'm going to put my name with UAPB? Perry from born in Arkansas, from Pine Bluff, and did not graduate from Pine. Took his ass to Southern. Nah, you think I'm gonna put my name with you? You smack. You smack. Yeah, hey, listen. I'll take a Huntsville PV. Who knows? I'm not taking. I wish Alabama would. I don't want nothing from PV. Now, A&M, Dr. Paul Bryant. Okay, talk to me now. talk to your boy. Listen, y'all want to hook your boy with an honorary degree? I'll take it. You know what? I wouldn't be mad. Listen, my son would be mad before I would be mad. I would not be mad at taking the Jackson State. I know this. I know. Shut up. I know all y'all members looking at the TV like, whoa. You know what? I wouldn't be mad at getting an honorary degree from Jackson State. I really would. I ain't gonna lie. I would. I really would. It'll be like it wouldn't be my number one choice, but I would accept one. Okay, so if other ones start, I'll take a Clark Atlanta one. I'll take a Clark Atlanta one. I'll take a Clark Atlanta. It wouldn't be my first. Listen, Jack State wouldn't be my first choice, right? Probably be like my 8th choice. You know what I'm saying? A&T, I'll take one from A&T. See, like it's all about where you put Jack State. Like Jack State's not in my top 3. They not in my top 8. They're like in my top 15. You get what I'm saying? Like they're like in my top 15. Like they're like 14. You know what I'm saying? Like Jack State, and then like Valley, like right there. You know what I'm saying? Like top 15, right? So number 1 is Claflin, of course. I would love to be, you know what I'm saying? I would love to do an honorary degree from Claflin. You feel what I'm saying? Like, then number 2 would be FAMU. Like, I really like FAMU. I try not to do y'all as dirty as I do, but I really like FAMU. Like, I like that whole swag of FAMU. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what's funny? I do have family in Savannah. I have my dad's from Savannah. So I don't know if I'll take an honorary degree from Savannah State, but my dad is from Savannah. So Delaware State is 15. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like 15. Valley. So my top 5. Realistically, top 5. Number 1 is Claflin. Number 2 is FAM. Number 3, North Carolina A&T. Number 4, Tuskegee. And number 5, Clark Atlanta. That'll be my top 5. That'll be my top 5. It'll be Claflin, FAM, North Carolina A&T, Tuskegee, and Clark Atlanta. That'll be my top 5. That's my top 5. The rest of them, you know, if they offer, they offer. But I would definitely want to work through my top 5 first. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Just want to say that right now. So, you know, if anybody can set that up, I love an honorary degree. Now, I do got some credits. I do got a little credit. So, but I ain't trying to be in school all my life. Okay, so if somebody can set that up, you know what I'm saying? Because I've looked up some of these online programs. Yeah, man, y'all be doing the most. You have to earn that Southern University degree already. I'm good. I am good on that. Central State, heck, you moved to Ohio for some reason. Hey, you know, Central State. Okay. You at least want to, if I say if I got an honorary degree from Central State, they be like, first of all, the central of what and what state? You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to have those issues when I tell somebody I got an honorary degree. That's the problem with Central State, right? Because if I say Central State, they be like, in the center of what? In what state? At least if I say Claflin University, like, you be like, okay, oh yeah, private school, okay, good. I think, what's that in? South Carolina, North Carolina? Hey, kind of in the direction, right? In the direction. North Carolina A&T, you already know what that is. FAMU, you already know what that is. Tuskegee, you already know what that is. Clark Atlanta, you already know it. Like, those have names. They got like a little buzz. You know what I'm saying? They got a buzz. So you say it, they're like, oh yeah, oh, that's cool. That's what's up, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So he said, slide me a 20 and I'll hook you up with a degree. I'm not messing with y'all. But listen, if y'all can text number right there. Any one of y'all can pull that off for me. Number 1 being Claflin. And Dr. Womack, know he talked to me. Dr. Womack, you know I talked to you. And you said you was going to hook me up. Not with an honorary, you said with a real degree. But still, I'm still waiting for that. All right? I'm still waiting for that. Central State sounds like an online school. You know what I'm saying? Hillman, Atlanta, A&T. All those, right? So just want, you know. But shout out to Claflin. You know what I'm saying? 1-year alum right here. You know, I got, you know, I was about to say like my Diddy year, but we're not doing the Diddy stuff, so no Diddy. So, but just want to, you know, if anybody can make that work for you, boy, I appreciate that. Now, listen, I know I've been away for quite a while. I know you Bammers are like, oh, Scotty, I made sure. Okay, let me tell you this. I made sure, because what y'all like to do about me, y'all like, oh, Scotty, you only come on and talk about negative stuff. So I made sure I got some good stuff to talk about. Okay, because you guys, y'all be killing me. Like, oh, Scotty, all you want to do is bash HBCUs and talk about the negative stuff, and you never want to bring up the good stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the positive stuff. So first and foremost, okay, let's talk about, shout out to Grambling, you know. Shout out to Grambling, okay? You already know what it is. Let me see. Not that one. Not that one. No, let me see. Let me see. I gotta find it. Oh, it's okay though. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna find it. I feel bad to talk about Grambling. I don't have the chant in my stuff, but that's what happens when you do stuff at the last minute. You know, I'll be on CPT time, so don't, you know. Let me see. But anyway, y'all can read that for yourselves. But let me see if I can find this Grambling chant. Bam, found it. All right. So the state of Louisiana finally decided to address deferred maintenance on campus. So Grambling is set to receive $80 million over the next 10 years. Shout out to Grambling State University for getting what they are owed. And if you just look at some of the comparisons, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think UL Lafayette had the most. I think they got 112 million or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But Grambling was the second most in that aspect. So hey, that handicap drum be hitting. When that handicap drum come in, boom, 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 boom. Hey! You hear that handicap drum? Boom, boom, boom. But anyway. So shout out, man. Listen, keep grinding, keep going. Listen, all I'm gonna say is this: use the money for what it's for. Okay, use the money for what it is for. If it's for maintenance, use it for maintenance. Okay, so do what you got to do. That field house needs to get improved. I hope that's part of maintenance of the campus. You know what I'm saying? Use it, whatever it's for. Get your money. Use it appropriately. Have it greatly impact the campus of Grambling State University. Because one thing that is really cool about Grambling, if you've never been there, it's literally like you drive down a residential street and bam, it's Grambling. It's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It's real put away, real cozy, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's real dope. So I think if, you know, with everything, with the money coming, they can do right by what they get, the funds that they get. I think it can be amazing setup. I really think it could be amazing setup. States typically don't fund athletics much. Those are for educational buildings. Listen, library, right? Student center, tutor center, whatever you might need it for, use it for the appropriate funds for what you need it for. All right. So shout out for Grambling for that. Make sure they get what they got. So shout out to Trey Hayes for posting that on Twitter as well. Now, I know you saw the title. It says Urban Edge is on tilt. But my tilt is their Urban Edge is, and listen, let's keep it a buck. Half of you Bammers wouldn't even know about Urban Edge if it wasn't for me. I think I've been a partner with Urban Edge for like 2.5, 3 years, right? And I'm telling you, I still remember, I feel like Michael Jackson. I remember the time when y'all was calling these Bammers a scam, and y'all was calling these Bammers everything under the sun, all because Dr. McNugget told you to. I ain't forgot about what you Negroes were saying, right? I ain't forgot. They might have forgot. They might not have cared, but I remember because I was, Scotty's with the scammers. That's what I was hearing. Scotty's with the scammers. Oh, they're scamming everybody, right? So when I say Urban Edge is on tilt, what my tilt is, right? Because I know a lot of people like tilt bankrupt and all that, but my tilt is like they're leaning in a direction that is literally about to change the college landscape for HBCU athletics. And my issue is this. I would not be surprised if UEN, right? Okay. I hope, let me try to get what I'm trying to say. I would not be surprised if Urban Edge Networks, and if they keep getting the pushback from major HBCU institutions like the SWAC and MEAC and stuff like that, I would not be surprised if you see them move out into a group of 5 Colonial Athletic Association. I'm telling y'all right now, because what I'm going to show you is you can see the tentacles of the reach from Urban Edge Networks getting into things that you wouldn't think a Urban Edge or a black-owned company, a black-owned media company at that, would be diving into or would have their hands in things or tentacles in things that they have, right? Because of the technology that they have, the capacity at which they're able to put on games, and the broadcast and how you can get to them and how people make money. I'm telling you that you don't be surprised if you see their reach and spread grow outside of HBCU, because it's already somewhat there. They have partnerships with Purdue University. They have partnerships with Ohio State. They have partnership with University of Georgia. So them limiting themselves to the HBCU community is going to be less and less, because when the whites get a hold of what they're able to do and what they're able to either for what they're able to be able to give to the school or show them their market capital in the market business, or show them their market cap of what they're allowed to get advertising wise, there's going to be a lot more white universities to jump on this before HBCUs really know what's going on, and then they get left behind, and now they're like, man, they sold out. They were supposed to be for us, but that's not how business works. That's like being mad at the stock market. That's like being mad at the stock market because you didn't invest in Google in 2007 and now it's 2024 and they like $300 a share. When you're given the opportunity to invest, listen, there's a risk into everything. There's a risk in everything that you try to do nowadays, right? But there's a way that you negotiate and manage, and we'll get to that later. But I just want to show you some things of what's transpiring underneath Urban Edge. And it's not a ploy to be like, oh, you got to bond with them or you got to partner with them. I'm showing you what a black company that I've been partnered with for the last 2.5 years has done in the landscape of college athletics. And this ain't word of mouth, right? This ain't something like, oh, Scotty just, Scotty. These are, you can go Google everything I'm giving you right now, and it will show you the article. It will show you who wrote it, most likely a white person outside of Kyle Mosley, right? So NIL platform, athlete, Urban Edge Network partner with the GCAC. Urban Edge Network is a partner with the GCAC. They set up that athlete deal. You know who else has an athlete deal? Grambling State University. Grambling State University as well has that same athlete NIL deal. Okay. HBCU Urban Edge Network partnered with Stats Perform. If you don't know what Stats Perform is, they're literally like a all-in-one statistician. Like they give you I was on one of this funny. I was actually on one of these meetings, this deal when they were getting the nuances of the deal. I was on the Zoom call. The detail in I just want y'all to understand the detail in what they can do statistically and graphic wise is just outrageous. They said they could take an old video of Walter Payton and show his top speed, they could take the video, dissect the stats or whatever that game, and see how he would compare in this day and age. Like it's crazy the abilities that they're able to do with Stats Perform. And one thing that we've all had our run-ins and up and down with SIDs and taking stats or whatever. So having Stats Performed in the HBCU space really gives credence to what our players are putting up in values of stats, right? And how they compare with Group of Five and FBS competition, right? All those things and nuances matter in the day and age of stats, because when you're talking about, and nobody's a better historian about talking about old SWAC games than Perry, right? So when you don't have some of the stats from these old games or the video footage from some of these old games, there's a history that is lost there. right? There's a history that you just don't have. But what allows Stats Performance to really aggregate stats, really aggregate the best of the best, and you really get to see with the stats behind it of who's really doing it. Not of, thank you, God, not the SWAC all conference players being voted on. And you're like, how does a player who got 4 sacks first team, and how is a player who led the conference in sacks not even put on, right? It's that. It's where you're able to really dissect the numbers, really see how many pressures has this offensive lineman allowed? How many sacks has this offensive lineman allowed in the game? Like, those are the stats that are needed to really show how great these players are, or the potentially could be going to the next level, right? When you have games where, you know, the stats are off and you're like, it just didn't, like, he had this amount of yards and he really had this amount of it. Listen, all that stuff gets cleaned up with Stats Performed in the Urban Edge Network being being in the space right now. Let me say, and I want to be very, that's for every HBCU school, right? Like, from what I was told is that Stats Perform is going to be looking at HBCU in the D1. In the D1 landscape, they're going to be looking at HBCUs. So I really believe that benefits everybody, from what my understanding was from that meeting, coming from that meeting. Now, also, Stats Perform and Urban Edge are also going to be doing an award ceremony as well, right? So they're going to be having an HBCU Player of the Week. They're going to have an HBCU Player of the Month, Offensive Player of the Month, Offensive Player of the Week, Defensive Player of the Week, Defensive Player. All those little things that, you know, most big institution or big conferences do. Stats Perform is going to bring it down to the HBCU level and really show the recognition that these kids and these young men deserve. So it's definitely going to be game changing. All right. Next up, also, once again, NAIA is a predominantly white conference. And what have they done? The NAIA has come to Urban Edge Networks and asked them, Urban Edge Network, to broadcast their lacrosse game, right? So you have that. The GCAC now becoming the HBCU conference, right? Who you think played a part in that? Who do you think supplements the income for the HBCU conference? Who do you think paid for the salary for the commissioner? Who do you listen? The HBCU conference is infused with Urban Edge Network. They are one. Why do you think Stillman, Voorhees, Wilberforce all have come back to the conference? Because of the income that the HBCU conference and Urban Edge has brought to that conference. Right? Listen, you can say this is the thing with it. You can say whatever you want about somebody, but their actions over time is going to show you, right, what they're about. And I'm going to keep saying this to you guys. You guys keep jumping on this HBCU go stuff. And I'm not here. What I'm not trying to do is bash them. What I'm trying to get you to understand and just look at it from a lens of what impact has HBCU go done for the CIAA, for the SIAC, for the SWAC. Because what I see is a hoarding of content that they don't put out. What I see is a one-time fee and all of what you own is mine. It's like a new version of media slavery, right? Like Stillman College, who's partnered with HBCU, with Urban Edge Network, HBCU Plus, have a new basketball court because of them. Grambling has a new softball field because of Urban Edge Networks. Like, I can go on and on and on about the infusion of funds that has come from Urban Edge Networks to their partners, or just for the conference or just for a game to where they're able to be shown and seen, right? The way they've promoted their, I think they have a few schools. I don't know all the NAIA schools, so don't even give me line on this thing. So, but what I want you to understand is just the push of the product, the push of the media. So you're able to see your son or daughter play softball. You're able to see your son play basketball. You're able to see your son or daughter play baseball. You're able to see soccer. You're able to see all these sports on the HBCU Plus app through Urban Edge Network that you're not allowed to see from HBCU Go when they own all the content. Somebody has to make that make sense, right? Somebody has to make that make sense. And Uncle Sandman, what AD you talking about? Because if you're talking about Dr. Scott, can I listen? I don't know why y'all Bama's keep bringing up Dr. Scott, right? Dr. Scott did not sign off on the HBCU Plus deal. He had nothing to do with it. If anything, that Bama be dick riding for the commissioner, right? He had nothing to do with the HBCU Plus deal. Hugh Jackson had him and the former president. Those two are the reasons HBCU Plus is at Grambling. Hugh Jackson said, hey, I'm going to have a money problem. I'm bringing these ninjas with me. That is what happened. It was not Travion Scott and his all. No, it's not what happened. And if we're being honest, before HBCU Plus, tell me something Dr. Travion Scott did that was relevant. Don't worry, I'll wait. Right? So let's use Uncle Sandman. You're a douche. I just saw what you put. Boy, you trash. Boy, I fell for the okie doke. Boy, you trash. Set me up. He didn't hire him. Guess who hired him? Dr. Paul Bryant. The female one, I'll give you that. That was a great hire by him. Got to give him credit for that one. But the male one, Dante, Dr. Paul Bryant did that. So miss me with that. But the female one, I'll give you that one. Right? So that was a great hire. So it just, all I'm saying, guys, is listen, once again, this all comes off the heels of what NCCU is going through, right? This is all off the heels of what NCCU is going through, because if any institution is not pulling their contracts after seeing what is going on with NCCU, you are smoking crack. And you're being hard-headed, if I'm just being honest, to overlook and see what you're signed up against, what you're going against. Listen, I had a conversation, and I'm jumping around here, but I had a conversation with somebody. I'm in this little HBCU group on Facebook, you know what I'm saying? And he said, let me, I'm gonna just read you what he said. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just read you what he said. Right? So let me see. Here we go. He said, I'll dismiss it because mofos act like it's just our schools that end up in those situations. PWIs are really good at paying the right people or having alliances with the right people to make sure stories like this never see the light of day. We take stories like these and try to blow it up into something that it shouldn't be. Businesses get into loans they cannot afford to pay all the time. Also, just look at the ACC, Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, and others are all pissed off about a TV deal that they all agreed to. They want to sue for their rights on a bad deal they made collectively. If it's an HBCU league in the same boat, it's a scandal or everyone is in shambles. When PWI leagues do it, it's all of a sudden swept under the rug. Okay. Now, let me be very clear and break that down for you as best I can, because I usually like to show stuff so you guys can read it over and over and over again, but I'm going to just read it. My thing is this. let me first start off by saying this. As Black people, we've dealt with situations like this as kids. And I'm gonna be very, I like to dumb stuff down to really help everybody get it. It's not to say that you're dumb. It's just I want people to relate to the information. When you're at school and you're with your friends and you're laughing, joking, and cutting up, and the teacher sends you to the office and your mama gets there, and if you tell your mom, the first thing you shouldn't tell your mom is, Mom, I wasn't the only one laughing. I wasn't the only one cutting up in class. Your mom is going to say, I don't care. They caught you. They caught you. What if I told you to do? What did I tell you to do? Right? My point is this. I adamantly hate when HBCU alums jump on my phone and tell me, Scotty, PWIs do it all the time. You're not a PWI. Why do we keep, you're the first one to tell me you're not a PWI, but then when you get your shit, when you get yourself in some shit, then you be like, well, PWIs do it all the time. I mean, you can't have it both ways. And my thing is this, if you want to bring up the ACC contract, that's apples to oranges. They're making $40 to $50 million. I think, no, let me not lie. I think they're making about $20 to $25 million per school in that contract, right? You're not making that. You're not making that. Why the ACC schools are upset about their deal is because of FOMO. They're the fear of missing out. They see what the Big Ten is getting. They see what the SEC is getting. They're like, damn, we could be at least getting about $200-300 million. It's not because they're not making money. They're mad because they're not making as much money as their counterparts. Y'all niggas ain't making no money. How are you going to compare yourself to somebody making millions when you ain't making nothing? You got a commissioner signing off on $760,000 deals where the school is getting paid $60K and you still got to give the conference 40%. How is that? Don't even go together. That's oil and water. We not in the same tax bracket. Why are you comparing yourself to me? Why are you even trying to compare yourself to a P5 institution? Y'all tell me this all the time, Scotty. We're not P5. We're not P5. We can't get P5 money. You tell me this all the time. So why all of a sudden then it's like PWIs happen all the time? You can't have it both ways. You can't. It doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't. My thing is this. Listen, the same person I was texting in the group, I said, listen, HBCU alums love to tell me that you're living on the poverty line, right? Scotty, we're living close to that. Oh, teetering. You're living on the poverty line. I said, you know what? I said, I'm living on the poverty line too. I said, but when you're living on the poverty line, when you're living check to check, when you're living in that rough space, and I've been there, right? I ain't always been able to be comfortable. I've been there, right? But you know what you do? You make sure you go over every nook and cranny of your finances to make sure your check fits the month. I just can't sign up for subscriptions all willy-nilly. But the way you do the way you do business has nothing to do with race or color. It all has to do with your intelligence on the business matter. Doesn't matter if you're an HBCU. Doesn't matter if you're a PWI. Bad business is bad business no matter the color. No matter the color. The only issue is when you have the flexibility in finances. Listen, listen, I'm a military guy. I'm gonna keep it simple and stupid. If you got $100,000 in the bank saved and you got $5,000 in your checking account and somehow, some way your deal messes up and you lose $3,000, that ain't a big deal. You're like, damn, shit, I wish I didn't lose that money. I'll get it back. If you got $1,000 in the bank and you got $1,000 in your checking and $750 come up missing, I'm calling the bank. What, who, how, what? It's a difference. It's a difference. So that's what happens at most PWIs. They have the cushion to fuck up. You don't. You do not. You don't have the cushion to fuck up your finances. You do not. So that's why you have to have better business. You have to structure your deals in a better way that benefits the institution. But it's too many times that contracts benefit the white man or the black person that is trying to get your business. What shit does that make? They're trying to get your business and you're making it easy for them. You're making it easy for them. What? Come on, man. Yeah, we about to skip around on this one. There is no reason that NCCU should have signed a 10-year sponsorship agreement. In what world? I don't know what it is. Listen to me, guys. People are going to say, but Scotty, this is the dumb shit that I hear. Scotty, I mean, the ACC signed what was it, Scotty? It was like, it had to be like a 12 or 15-year deal with the ACC network and with ESPN. Yeah, but they were making 15 to 20 million per school. Right? It's a bad deal no matter what. Like, you get the contract length. Listen, if the SWAC signed a 10-year and each school was getting $15 million, there's not much I could say. I'd be like, hey, it's a little long for me, but damn, 15 mil. Hey, that's you couldn't do 6 years. You couldn't have done 5. That's the only thing that's the only thing I could knock it. I'm like, the length is just killing me, right? Like 10 years. Like, you know how much changes in 10 years? Like, think how much changed from 2007 to 2017. Like, how much has changed in just 10 years? But if you're making 15 or 18 million dollars a year per school, the schools are like, we can ride with it. But it doesn't make sense when the numbers don't make sense. It doesn't make sense when the numbers don't make sense. So the fact that and I want to be very clear, this is not the current AD's deal, right? I want to be very clear. I want to be very, 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 very clear. This is not in terms of the new AD. The new AD has nothing to do with this deal. He's the one that found the issue with this deal. But let me tell you how bad this deal is. I can't explain to you how, like, this is what this institute, and like, you can say whatever you want, Scotty. You can say whatever you want to me. You can tell me, this is how HBCUs view their business and their institution and their likeness. This is how they view themselves. It says, this is from the Charlotte Post, who wrote this article. It says, one of the culprits in this 10-year sponsorship deal between the department and Peak Sports, a multi-marketing company based in Texas that was hatched in 2020, haven't been around very long. The sponsorship looked good on paper. Peak Sports would manage and sell all sponsorship inventory for the department, from signage to digital content to sporting events. The Eagles will be guaranteed a specific amount. The partnership guarantees Peak Sports 40% of all corporate sponsorships it sells. Get this. If NCCU sells on its own So whichever way the money flows in, Peak Sports gets 40% of the cut. So I want y'all to understand this. NCCU minimized their value so much that they said, even if we sell it on our own, we got to give the white man 40%, and he didn't do no work. He ain't did a lick of work, and we still got to pay him 40%. I'm going to say that again. They are a advertising and sponsorship company. What Peak Sports does is you give them the rights to your licensing. I'm gonna keep it simple, stupid. If Offscript was to partner with Peak Sports, what I would do is say, hey, listen, I'm gonna give you the right to represent me and my brand and bring in advertising for me and my show. Thank you, Perry. They're just the middleman. That's all they are. Because your school or your AD doesn't have time to go out and find advertising, whatever. They probably got partnerships and all type of shit, right? So they go out and they get you. Let's say he comes back and gives me a Sprite deal, right, with the Coca-Cola company, right? He's like, hey, Scotty, we got a great deal. It's 3 years, $3 million. They get 40% of that. It's a finder's fee. I wouldn't have found Coca-Cola. I don't know Coca nor Cola, right? But I love Sprite. So hell yeah, I want to do that deal. They get 40% of that. I get the 60. We good. Now, if I know somebody and I say, Mr. Packnet, right? Man, I know you do your military thing. You got your hookup. Or Mr. Kincaid, you got your A-team. Hey, let's partner together. And you know what I'm saying? You advertise, you advertise with me, and I'll just advertise for you. He's like, okay, Scotty, I'll give you $10,000 a month, blah, blah, blah. Why in the blue hell would I give you 40% of a deal that I did because I knew that individual? Do you see how bad that business is? That is what essentially NCCU is doing. They have to pay this white man 40% of whatever they get on their own. So if listen to me, please listen to me. If an alum comes to the institution and they could have a Fortune 500 company and say, hey, I want to advertise for the NC. I want to sponsor. I want to get a sponsorship package for the football team. They still have to pay Peak Sports 40% of what that alum wants to give to NCCU. What type of shit is that? If that's not the definition of bad business, I can't explain it no other. But this is what happens when you devalue yourself and you don't know your value in the marketplace. What should have happened, first of all, 10-year deal got to go. Thank you, PV versus everybody. 360 deal. Absolutely 360 deal, right? So now there's 7 years left on this deal. There's 7 years left on this deal. NCCU is trying to get out the deal, right? Says, we have met with legal counsel multiple times to try to find a way to get out the contract. This guy is not going to let us out, Perkins said. That guy is Peak Sports, Ryan Holloway. And let's be real. Why would he? He's in a win-win situation. So let's be very clear. He is absolutely in the win-win. He did what was best for him and his company. Period. Point blank, period. Let me be very mindful and tell y'all this. Any HBCU alum, any HBCU administration, if I don't give a damn black, white, it should not matter that a white man walks in your conference room and makes you want to do a deal because he white and got a business. Oh my God, a white man is here in a spot. Like, why do y'all feel like it's such an achievement because a white person walks into your office and like, oh my God, he wants to do work with me. He wants to work with NCCU. He wants to work with Clark and let us. He needs your business. You're the value. You're the product. So the mere fact that there are probably no benchmarks in this deal should have been a 3-4 year deal at max, a 3 with a 1 year opt. And if Ryan White Man Holloway did not reach certain benchmarks in how much funding he brought in, we're not renewing this contract. Because if the point of the matter is for you to bring in money to the institution, if you can't bring me $2 to $3 million a year, what are we talking about right now? There is probably no benchmarks in this deal. There's probably no out clauses in this deal. It's sad. It is sad. That's why every HBCU in athletics right now should be pulling out contracts. Should be pulling out contracts and reading it line by line by line. And the fact of the matter is, and you guys can say whatever you want, these niggas got a law school. NCCU got a law. They teach law. They probably have a class called contract law. And this is the shit that you get yourself into. Does that make any sense? You got a whole law school right across the fringe. You got a professor in there teaching you contract law. And this is the shit that you get yourself into. Now, you can say the same thing about Florida State. I'm not disparaging it because everybody, Scotty, PWI. You can say the same thing about Florida State. They got a law school. They in that horrible contract right now, but they were getting paid $15 to $20 million. They were getting paid $15 to $20 million per year being in that contract. What has Peak Sports done for you? Let me tell you this. You're absolutely right. I'm glad you said that. Peak Sports and you want to know some shit? Okay, let me tell you something. Peak Sports and FAMU broke their agreement not because Tiffany wanted to get out of the deal. Oh, no. I have the deposition. I have the email from Ryan Holloway telling the SWAC commissioner that, I'm sorry. I have a deposition from Ryan Holloway to a lawyer explaining why they broke their contract with FAMU is because FAMU owed them $500,000. FAMU owed Peak Sports $500,000. That's the only reason why they broke the contract. He said in his deposition, I got the document in my email. He said FAMU never paid on time. He said, at least with Courtney Gaucher, I knew he would communicate. He would talk to me. He said, once Courtney left, I never knew when I was getting paid. So I got the deposition. I mean, that's nothing. If you want to go there. And I said I wasn't going to talk about FAMU. I'm sorry. I did say that. I said I wasn't going to talk about FAMU, didn't I? I apologize. That's on me, FAMU. I apologize. Y'all took a slug. That wasn't fair. That was on me. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to bring y'all business up there like that. And then listen. And this all Josh can give you, right? This all Josh can give you today. The Eagles also just entered an agreement with the city of Charlotte and Temper Sports to play in the HBCU football classic at Bank of America. They ain't got shit to do with nothing. Now, he quote tweeted this on top of, if anybody knows Twitter, he quote tweeted this on top of the article. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Congratulations. Congratulations, I guess. But what this got to do with y'all Bama's in a 10-year contract and you paying the white man for nothing? All y'all better be checking them contracts. All y'all better be checking them contracts. Alabama State, Albany State, Central State. Better be checking them contracts. They ain't got nothing to do with Peak Sports money. That Peak Sports money is still gonna be coming in. And all the advertising that you get for all that Aggie Eagle Classic, you know what Ryan Holloway gonna say? Can I get 40% of that, please? For the next 7 years, can I get 40% of that, please? I need my 20 and the other 20 on the 1st and the 15th. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I got a new segment called Scottay Logic, right? I would have called this HBCU Logic, but Coach Green, you know, he'd be like, Scotty, I don't like that, man. You know, you just be. So I called it Scottay Logic. And with Scottay Logic is this. Listen, my whole goal is to not make you think what I think. My whole goal, and what I've said to you all the time is this. I just want you to just be curious. Go look it up for yourself. Just think about it for yourself, right? Like all I want to do is open your eyes to see the minutia, and then you come up with your own conclusion. I don't want you to think like Scotty. This ain't one of those, pastor said, pastor, ain't like that, right? All I try to do is just give you the information, give you my opinion behind the information. You go look it up for yourself, and you come up with your own concept. You come up with your own revelation, right? Of what you feel or how you feel. But the Scottay Logic subject is this. For anybody who's having a hard time understanding what I'm trying to say or what I try to get out, this is my way to show you an analogy that I think you can all understand, right? Especially as Black people, right? So let me explain myself, right? Let me explain myself. Now, when I was in the shower, God gave me this revelation. And what I got was this. PWIs are the Mercedes, right? And HBCUs are dunks, right? Now, the reason I say that PWIs are the Mercedes because the brand is established. You know that brand. You know what it is. It's in your face. You see that emblem all the time. You know what a Mercedes is when you see it, right? There is no question. You know what a G-Wagon is. You know what an SL, GLS. You know what S-Class, E-Class. You know it when you see it because the brand is always in your face. But HBCUs are 72 Cutlass dunks. You don't know the value of that car if you don't understand the culture behind the car. And this is my issue with HBCUs. You are bringing people in the space who only know Mercedes, BMW, Acura, and then you ask them to go sell a 72 Cutlass to people who don't value what the car is. So when they go sell it, they sell it at a lower price because they don't understand it. They don't understand why somebody will pay $70,000 to $80,000 for a premium Cutlass with a certain type of engine, right? So when you go sell it, when you go sell that 72 Cutlass and some white man offers you $20,000 for it, you say, okay, because that's all you know. You wouldn't expect it to be $100,000 car. You don't know what you have. And this is the problem with HBCUs. You let people come into the culture who don't know the value, who can't tell you anything about your value, and have them go sell your value to somebody they can't explain it to. If you get somebody who loves Cutlass cars, who loves classic, who love dunks, and you have them to go sell it, they can explain to the customer why this car, I'm not taking a penny less than $75,000. I'm not taking a penny less than $75,000. They're like, $75,000. Why? You know why the car is worth that? Because on the market, I can get 85 for it because I know where to sell it at. I know where to sell it at to go get the value at. I'm not going to take this car to Indiana or Minnesota to say, oh man, who's looking for a 72 colors dunk? They're not going to give me my value. But if I take this car to Houston, if I take this car to Atlanta, if I take this car to Jackson, Mississippi, if I take this car to Baton Rouge, if I take this car to San Antonio, Dallas, I'm going to get nonstop bids for this car. So again, why are you in business with people who don't understand your value or market? Listen, it doesn't even have to do with color. I gave a good example. I told my wife, I said, babe, because she was trying to explain my logic, and I was just telling her how I was thinking. I said, you gotta look at it as this, right? If I had two people come to me and say, Scotty, man, I really like to work with you. I love the brand. So I act white, black, it doesn't matter. Puerto Rican, stripe, polka dot, it does not matter. If they came to me and they said, Scotty, I would like to sell for you, I would ask them, have you seen the show? Have you watched the show? Tell me your favorite show. If you can't tell me your favorite show, how can you sell me? You don't know me. You don't know how reckless I can get. You don't know how wild I can get. Right? But if I had one person say, oh man, listen, I love the episode where you talked about Dr. McNugget. Hey, Dr. McNugget, hey, that's funny, man. And I had another guy who's like, nah, I really don't watch the show. I just kind of heard your name floating around in some rooms. I'm not going with you, because when shit gets thick and people don't want to give me my value, I'm going to go to the guy who watches me, who understands, no, I'm telling you, this kid is special. I'm telling you, he does this, he does that, he does this, he does that, right? That's what it is when you come to these places and you're dealing in the business of what the market and value is. First of all, listen, you got to know your value in the marketplace. Number two, you have to be willing to talk about you have to be willing to walk away from some deals, because some things are just too good to be true. And some things you got to put benchmarks and stuff in place to protect yourself. Right? If you can't hit this, show me that you can do this in the contract, so that if they don't hit those marks, what are we doing? What are we doing? Right? So it's so many things that, you know what I'm saying? It's so many things that go into understanding your market and your value, that you just got to know how to maneuver. And at the end of the day, when HBCUs, because I can give a damn what that person said in that Facebook message I read to you, talking about it's not that big a deal. No, it's a big deal. If you keep minimizing bad business, you're going to keep being in bad business. Stop making everything an in-house. Oh, we're going to fix it in-house. You did the contract in-house and you still fucked it up. So why do you think it's going to be fixed now that nobody knows that you fucked it up? Really? You're just going to keep hiding the same problem. I'm glad this came out. So the next time Peak Sports walks their ass into an HBCU campus and they come in, the schools need to know, you're not about to fuck us over like you did them, Ryan. You're not about to screw us over like you did NCCU. It ain't happening. So unless you come in correct, don't even come at all, my boy. Don't even come at all. That's how that works. You learn from your mistakes. And as a community, HBCUs should be working together. It's, oh man, this is the shit that kills me. If Peaks, listen, this is what kills me. Alabama State and NCCU, right? If Peak Sports would have went to NCCU, right? If you got a partner and everything, y'all, it should be like, hey, what Peak Sports? Hey, it should be no issue for the AD at Alabama State. Hey, what NCCU? Hey, NCCU, what piece? Because I got Ryan Holloway. He gonna email me talking about some stuff. What they give you? What? He offering me da. Why you didn't do that deal? That's how that shit works. It should be a family. There's no way that somebody should get got in our community. There's no reason why somebody should get got in our community. But people want to be, all people care about is headlines and being the first. And, oh, I did this and I did this and I did that. And look at me, look at me, look at me. When it should be about how well is everybody doing off? How well is NCCU should have called every institution and be like, look, if you working with Peak Sports, man, go look at your deal, bro. They screwing us, bro. Go look at your deal, bro. They screwing us. If PV gets approached by Peak Sports, Alabama State should call them and say, hey, listen, bro. Hey, Ryan gonna tell you this. Don't fall for it. We got this deal. Our deal's pretty solid. You know, I think we probably could have got more. Make sure you ask for more money. Make sure you get a better split. Make sure you put benchmarks in your stuff. We didn't do that, but you know, hey, I'm trying to make sure you good. I'm trying to make sure you straight. All right, yeah. That's how Ryan Holloway know he can't just come to the cookout. He can't just come to the cookout unless somebody let his ass in the cookout. He shouldn't be able to just jump from school to school doing bad deals. No. We about to link all that shit up. Same thing with ESPN. I'll do the same thing with HBCU Plus. If they doing something for Grambling, I'm calling Grambling up. Dr. Travion Scott probably going to be a little hoe about it because he ain't going to tell you the real deal, the real contract. But if he was a solid dude, he would be like, hey, listen, bro, listen. We got this from HBCU Plus. We probably could have got something a little bit better, but this is where we at. You know what I'm saying? They good for this. They good for that. That's how family keeps shit in the family. That's how you grow the right way. So nobody gets fucked over. So nobody gets messed over. Everybody good. Everybody eating. Because you can't, this is what the shit HBCU alums talk about, right? If a white person gets on Twitter and says, Nick, you came in at the right time. Nick came in at the right time. If somebody white on Twitter talks about Stillman not being a real school because it's an HBCU, it's like the Bama from Birmingham who tossed the hat. That's exactly what's going to happen on Twitter. Nick gonna retweet it, put it on the calendar. Everybody gonna attack the white person and be like, you don't know shit about HBCU, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to business, nobody want to do right by business. Nobody want to hit up another person when it comes to business. Nobody want to say, hey, man, listen, I was messing with this promoter. He fucked me over. Don't work with him. Do not work with this promoter. He didn't want to pay us. He didn't want to do this. He didn't want to do that. Do not work for us. There should be, and you shout out to Mr. Alonzo Carter. He has like a national minority football coach association where he gets all the running back coaches and all the minority coaches together in Vegas, and they just talk about how they grow and how they do this. And he has Zoom calls. He's grooming everybody. So everybody, he got Charles Huff on there. He got Hugh Jackson. He got Willie Simmons. He has big name Eddie George. He has big name black coaches on the call So everybody knows how to negotiate their contract, how they got to the Power Five. They're telling you, this is what I had to do. Charles Huff was on there one time that I was on the call. Charles Huff was saying, listen, I went and worked for this coach for free. He said, I know everybody can't do that, but I knew that I had to go make this happen. I knew. He said, I tell young coaches, don't get married because there's going to be parts in your time as a coach that you're probably going to have to work for free or go to an NFL training camp and just be around and linger and learn and just be in the room at these certain places. That is what happens when you bring black men together or black business people together. There should be a black AD. There should be an HBCU AD conference. Not to just talk about dumb shit and who dressed the best and how. No, you should get together, have an HBCU AD conference, right? And bring in special people or as we call them, subject matter experts in contract negotiation, in media negotiation, in learning the landscape of media or the ebbs and flows, or that is what it should look like. But when everybody is so separate and everybody's so spread out and everybody wants to do their own thing, it looks bad. Okay, I'm gonna go even deeper. I'm gonna just show you. There is, I don't know if, I know you guys are football fans. There is a SAC summit, right? Listen to me. The top defensive ends in the NFL get together for about 3 to 4 days and they go over pass rushing moves. Like Warren Sapp was there and all, like DeMarcus Ware comes in and all these guys, top guys like Aaron Donald, all these guys come together and they teach one another how to get better. They're all in competition with each other, but they all come together for 3 to 4 days to talk about how to pass rush better. Hey, this is what I do against Jason Peters, or this is what I did against this left tackle. So that started. Guess what the offensive linemen did? They got together and they started a offensive line summit. So all the best offensive linemen came together and they were teaching techniques on how I block better and all this. What I'm saying to you is this. This is what it looks like to get better, because you need to learn from an Ashley Robinson. You need to learn from a Dr. Paul Bryant. You need to learn how they're maneuvering. You need to learn from another AD in a Power 5 conference to come in and talk to you. You need to learn from a Courtney Gaucher. You might say whatever you want. He got FAMU an AT&T deal. He got FAMU a LeBron deal. Like, Courtney Gaucher is somebody that you bring in to talk about marketing and sponsor. He raised $1 million. He fundraised at an HBCU. Like, there are things that he can teach you that is valuable. That is what community looks like. And I don't understand why this has not been done. The white people do it with NACDA, whatever it's called. So why can't you just do it with HBCUs? Have an HBCU AD conference committee. You get what I'm saying? You can have all these things that talk about, right? You can bring Hakeem and talk about, his time at Valley and how he was able to get a new Jumbotron, because what he did at Valley can be replicated at another smaller institution. Because if you're able to get a Jumbotron for Valley, if you're able to get a turf field for Valley, well, I think Stillman should be able to get something. I think Tuskegee should be able to get something. It's all about how to figure it out. it just, oh my God, man. I'm sorry. At the end of the day, man, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is it's possible. You just got to you got to work together as a community, and you got to understand each other. You can't keep bitching and moaning about, oh, these 4 letters. Oh, we represent these 4 letters when you're not working together. I've even heard Dr. Gaville talk that the presidents don't even talk to each other. The presidents and chancellors. I've heard Dave say that the presidents and chancellors don't even talk to one another. How can you tell people this is an HBCU community when you work so individualized? But everybody's supposed to come together for the dumb shit. Because somebody get on Twitter and say Stillman ain't an institution. Somebody get on Twitter and say somebody broke. That makes you mad. But something like NCCU getting screwed over by a white institution, that shit don't make nobody mad. By a white businessman, that don't make nobody mad. Everybody should be checking their Peak Sports contracts right now. I'm going to take a couple calls. Call lines are open, 518-263-8124, 518-263-8124. I'm going to take a couple phone calls, and I'm going to get up out of here. I'm sorry, man. Like, I didn't want to take it where I took it, honestly. And I got something else I want to talk about. But I really want to hear if you guys are able to call in. I know you guys probably at work and stuff like that. So if not, I definitely understand. Oh, shoot. I got an email from, it says, do I say his name? You want to say his name? Okay. Shout out to Howard University. They said we have an online degree completion program. Unfortunately, this year we are done recruiting for fall 24. However, we should speak for next year. You can stay in Ohio. I'm from Akron. Shout out to you. And continue the degree online and complete in 2 years. Woo! Shout out to Howard. Hey, listen. You know who you are who sent me this email. Let me be very clear. I ain't got the Howard funds. Okay, I just want to be very clear about that.
There is one other participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
I ain't got the Howard funds. But if we can set this up, I'm down. Y'all weren't in my top 5, but I'm still down. Quince, coming to you.
Hey, brother, long time no talk.
What's up, man?
Man, nothing much, man. You know, the biggest thing is, man, I think the last time we talked, I was actually member for actually was working on the YouTube, the Google platform.
Yep.
Now I'm transitioning to coaching in footballs and athletics. So riding on that path. So man, one thing I did want to talk to you, man, go get that degree, man. Go back and get old HBCU media degree. Get you a nice little official, non-official, Offscript credentials that you don't have, man. Man, bump the honorary. Go and get that official, my man. Yeah.
They better. Hey, listen. They better come correct. Okay, listen. I'm not trying to be in school for forever. I hate writing. Boy, Q, I hate writing, boy. I swear to God. That's what scares me about getting a degree. I hate writing.
Hey, but yeah, man. The biggest thing is, man. Like I'm currently going to Houston Tillerson here in Austin, man. Great university. Man, I love the way let's go back to the HBCU plus. Man, here's the deal, man. I believe that they've done wonders for historical black universities there, especially at the Division II level, to give them the level of exposure that they have. And I am excited about the partnership with Stats Performers. So the biggest thing is a lot of people, especially in the historical black in the HBCU culture, it's more about the perception of stats versus actually stats. You made a good point where you stated the voters on these on the people who actually do the voting. It's not stat driven. Now, don't get me wrong. There is an eye test, but when we talk about stat driven, you can lie, but numbers don't.
Facts.
And I'm extremely excited on the stat performance deal. And the last thing that I want to talk about was I think the biggest thing is the peak performance. So they're a business based out of the Dallas Fort Worth. I think they were officially of Allen, Texas. So if you don't know Allen, Texas, they're the ones with the 200. I think it was like I think $40 million high school stadium. There, so sports. It is a suburb of a suburb of Dallas, and sports drive their economy. They have 23 schools, I think, that they work with, because all the way, and most of them are, FCS or Division II schools. They have the 4 historical black colleges that we have. We talked about Central State, Alabama State, as well as NCCU, and I think I'm missing one. But yes, those are some of the schools that they work with. But most of them are they have one junior college, Division Division II, which is Pittsburgh State. But what I'm afraid of is if you take, I don't know if you remember UPN back in the day.
Yeah. I used to watch that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So UPN. Remember how UPN where used to have all the black shows on there. You had
Moesha. You had Moesha. You had the Parkers. All that.
Yep, all of those. Then after all of a sudden, they start rising up in ranks. Then the Griffin, the Griffin, Moesha, and all those shows got replaced with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and all these other stuff. And after they rebranded, and all of a sudden now, the little guys, we got pushed out. So that was my concern with that deal. And the biggest thing is, we say this deal was signed 3 years ago.
I believe so.
So basically, you have to take a look at it. That's at the peak of primism, and so where these universities, especially the people who are trying to compete with Jackson State, and they're trying to get into these to this NIL, and they're like, okay, 10 years. Oh man, I don't know anything about it, but sure. So I think it's a rush, and you're spot on. I'm not going to repeat what you said, but you're spot on knowing your value, because inflation is 3 to 4% nowadays, and your 5 years would be the max I would sign that deal for. So I think you're spot on with your analysis.
Man, as always, Q, man, I appreciate you, man. You keep doing your thing, man. I hope that coaching career works out for you.
All right, man. I'll let you know, and after that, we can talk offline. Appreciate it.
Hey, anytime, Q. So, hey, don't talk about my guy Q. My boy Q came through for me in major ways. So shout out to Q. Let me say this before I get into my other topic that I want to talk about that I think is just as important as the NCCU situation. I want to talk about, first of all, let me just say this. I really believe that that HBCUs have to start doing better. Like, you guys think I just pick on people because it's like, oh, Scotty loves to pick on people. I say this for a reason. I say you only can go as far as your leadership, because if there's a ceiling that they can reach, that's just where they're going to reach it, unless you learn or that's why people have mentors, right? Because I can only go so far, right? So I need a like, I give you a good example. For me, it was Mr. Campbell, right? Mr. Campbell was a mentor in understanding the landscape, right? Like he really walked me through, hey, can't say this. Hey, you got to worry about this. This is really big. And this is like, so I needed that crash course to kind of really self-correct myself and to go the right way, so that he could pull me through the ceiling that I was going to reach, because I did not know I didn't know the history of HBCU, right? So then once I get pulled through the ceiling, then I'm able to go further. I'm able to do more, right? And then you hook onto another mentor that takes you to another place that you didn't go, right? So that's how life works. And what I'm saying to you is this. If your mentor is Dr. McNugget, I'm sorry, you have a ceiling and the SWAC is hitting it right now. It's hitting it right now and you can see it. It's just like it's waiting for the breakthrough. And a lot of the ADs have a ceiling. So you need to have this conference of HBCU ADs because one, the ADs get switched out pretty frequently. And you want people to continue to keep learning because you're putting a lot of people who are just educational smart into a business area and putting them in a business arena they do not understand. You got educators trying to do business when they don't know business. So that's why you need to have a conference of great minds, of business acumen people, subject matter experts to come in and to give you information on how businesses ran and how to sell and how to get ads and how to get the right sponsorships in what a IO insertion order is, right? A IO. What's an IO? How do you do field sponsorship? Like you need to be taught that. Mr. Campbell taught me CPCs and how to make a sponsorship package. Like he taught me. I didn't know that. I didn't know shit about sponsorship packages. He walked me through sponsorship packages. He walked me behind CPCs. He walked me into this. He walked me into all those arenas of business that I did not understand. Like Cut walked me through the YouTube space. Hey, this is your this and this is your that. Look for this. You want to have good retention here, right? Like that's how that happens. So when you learn and you get educated, now you move further along. You can do more. 4925 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Hey, what's going on, Scotty? This is Monty.
What's up, Monty? Oh, man, I know you about to preach. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Hey, man, if I'm about to get my driveway done, am I going to call a person that's a mason or am I going to call a plumber?
I'm going to call the mason.
You know, it's just we just keep being a broken record, man, repeating the same stuff over and over and over. And you can't tell me that there's no talent out there that has went to these schools that's doing the same type of work, what you're saying right now, the type of people they need, that they should be reaching out. I'm wondering that have even some of those people that's graduated from these institutions to look over contracts, that's doing marketing, you know, have tried to even come back and was maybe denied because we keep putting the same wrong people in position to handle business that they do not know how to do. And, you know, it's sad is maybe some of the HBCUs need to start looking, since the white man's ice is colder, of putting the white man as the AD.
Putting the white man
in that position.
Listen, I don't care who's in the position. I mean, I kind of care, right? But it's like, as long as you can, as an AD, right? If you can stabilize my athletics and you know how to sell my program to advertisers, to local businesses, that's what matters. It does not matter about the color. I'm not, and I agree with you, Monty. I'm not saying that there's not former alums that can do it. It's just get the best man for the job. That's just how I feel about it. Go ahead.
Right. In that position, at all of the PWI, G-Wagon level institutions, every AD job is to get that money in. It's not even to build a team, it's building an overall program, getting the sponsorship, getting the money in. That guy up in Colorado, he got Dion in Colorado, and seen more money than they've ever seen. And guess what? Whether Dion win another game or not, he actually did his job as an AD.
Facts.
If they happen to win a few. So that's the type of people that you need in that's going to be focused on getting the dollars and cents and not signing these contracts that putting us right behind these that sounds like a bad record company deal. I own you, your name and the artist, and the contract, the record's still selling, and you ain't making nothing.
All you getting is ticket sales. You don't get no food on the concessions. You don't get no money on the merch. You don't get no money on nothing. You just if you ain't touring, you ain't making no money.
Right, right. You don't even own the name. Didn't Prince show us this game a long time ago?
Yes.
Why he changed to a symbol?
Yes.
And that brother wrote all the music and played damn near all the instruments on all his stuff. And he said, "Wait a minute, I don't even own me no more." So, you see it, I see it, and we nowhere near, how as highly educated as these so-called people out here that's supposed to be in these positions. And so, hey, let's go look for the white man to come in and be the AD. Show him how to do it.
Hey, appreciate the call, Monty. I hope everything's well with you and your fam, man.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yep.
Listen, it's crazy. It's crazy because, and I have these conversations with Mr. Campbell and Mr. D all the time. Mr. D, a former Howard administrator, and Mr. Campbell, a FAMU graduate. I have these conversations with them all the time, and I'm just like, I just don't understand why you would not want somebody as an alum who knows your school, who knows what that school has done for them, to come back and impact your school in some type of way. Right? I don't even got to put you on payroll. I can make you a consultant. If the SWAC commissioner is allowed to make his friend a consultant to the SWAC, should schools not have alums who are in the business of marketing and sales? If I was NCCU, Josh would be a consultant for NCCU. Why wouldn't I? He works as an advertising manager of a Fortune 500 company and understands the media and advertising space. Why would I not have that ninja as a consultant for my AD? Have him in meetings with my AD on advertising. He would love to do it. He probably wouldn't even care about getting paid. He would just say, hey, make sure I got tickets, make sure I'm at the events, and we good. I'm doing it because I love NCCU. Like, I don't get it. And I'm not saying NCCU hasn't done that. I'm not saying that. I don't know that for sure. Josh could be a consultant for NCCU. I don't know. But I damn sure would make it happen. Right? It's not. I mean, you ain't the only person, Mr. Levette. Well, you look like you pretty much a successful banker or something. I don't know what you do, right? If your time can't be donated, it doesn't mean his time can't. It doesn't mean that he can't have. Okay, how about this, Mr. Levette? Because everybody loves to tell me what I can't do. Everybody loves to tell me no. How about this? How about the AD, right, does the meeting, he brings back the contract for advertising, and him and Josh sit down and they go through it together. So then technically it would be on Josh's time. Hey, man, I get off at 6 o'clock. I'll go over with you at 6 o'clock when I'm off of work, and we can just look through the contract. And then Josh is like, nah, don't do this. Don't do that. Okay, ask for this. Ask for that. We're not even doing that at all. Da-da-da-da-da. And then the AD goes back and it makes the AD look like he know what he's talking about. Hey, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. Hey, can you add this into the contract? Blah, 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 blah. Because every contract, nobody ever signs the contract right there. Everybody gets the offer. They go back. They talk to their general counsel. They do whatever. It's going to take you about a week and a half to sign the deal off. So it doesn't mean that he has to be right there in the meeting. You just bring it back to whoever you have negotiated. You talk about it and go forward. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Right? It's like, No, I'm not going for that. I'm not going for the excuses of Scotty. No, we can't. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, man. We're past. Listen. The one thing that kills me. This is the one thing that has always plagued me about HBCUs, and I hope I have it in here. Let me see. There's an article on Sportico, right? And it talks about the Grambling former athlete who's suing the NCAA over APR. And she's saying that APR is unjustly used against HBCUs and they should change the benchmarks because HBCUs aren't able to do what PWIs do, right? In the article at Sportico, you guys can all look this up on Sportico. It came out July 3rd. Sportico. All right, I'm going to put the link in the chat. This is what one person said. It is really hard to be a student athlete bringing these cases, Fegan said, the athlete. The lawyer. This is the lawyer. They put their athletic career at risk and risk the ear of their coaching staff. We have talked to HBCU presidents who are interested in helping, but who cannot participate publicly because of the fear of retribution from the NCAA. Listen, man, I am so sick and tired of hearing about people being scared. The problem that bothers me so much is that the same institutions that people rant, rave, and jump up and down would not be in the places they were today if the people that came before you was as scary as these ninjas are today. If you took, now mind you, they're in a time with less racism, more opportunities in this day and age. Is there still racism? Absolutely. But there's more opportunity for Black people. There's less racism than than ever 30 years ago, right? But if the Negroes today in the administration were the same ones 30 years ago, there would be no HBCU schools because everybody is so scared to do the right thing. Just do the right thing. That is what bothers me so much about HBCUs is that people that they care more about a paycheck than doing the right thing. And the right thing would say this, that if HBCUs have the opportunity to push back against the NCAA and APR, that is exactly what I would do. APRs are one of the biggest hurdles that HBCUs have to face that the NCAA imposed on them without catering to the need of what HBCUs are for. And if this is not the time, if this is God has set this up so perfectly for HBCUs and they're about to fumble the bag. This is the perfect time to attack the NCAA in understanding why APR should not be done. Should either be passed over or re-evaluated for HBCUs. The NCAA is on its heels. The NCAA is like a husband that has been caught cheating and the wife is trying to take everything. They are giving Power 5 schools anything they want. Hey, we want weed to be legal. Whatever you want, dear. Hey, I want the car, the house. I want revenue. I want this. I want that. Whatever you want, dear. That's all NCAA is doing right now. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Whatever you need. Whatever you want. This is the perfect time for HBCUs to come together and push back on APR and how it is disseminated against its, how it's implemented on its institutions. Because once this is that time, because if HBCUs are able to recalculate their APR, how much better will your athletic administration be? How much better will your coaching, your rosters, all that stuff that you're worried about? How much better will your rosters look? How much better will your athletic administrations look? How much less hectic will your compliance offices look? Not saying you probably need some more compliance officers, you probably do, but what I'm saying is this is the time to push back on the institution at the administration at hand. And why are you scared of what the NCAA is going to do to your job? They don't even pay you. The NCAA, like, that's how scary niggas are. The NCAA doesn't even pay them. But what they're scared of is the NCAA doing an audit. What they're scared of is the NCAA sitting their people down there to do an audit, and you're like, oh man, I hope Listen, man, this is not the time to be scary. And it just kills me, man. I hear this so much that people would rather be in wrong situations than do what's right because of a paycheck. Because of a paycheck. Well, Scotty, I would say something, but but if it's wrong, so and this is the thing, and I'm sorry, and I have to say this, is because if the shoe was on the other foot and you were this girl or you were this institution or you were the person getting done wrong, you would want somebody to stand up for you. You would be sad and appalled that nobody was standing up for you. You would be sad and appalled that nobody stood on the table and was like, nah, this ain't right. But since it doesn't affect you, since it doesn't affect you and your livelihood or whatever, you won't do what's right. And I'll say this, and a lot of people will say, Scotty, you just get on here talking. You just get on here talking. I'll tell you, and I think some people know this story. Some people might not know this story, right? There was a time that me and Dion were like, me and Dion's camp was really close, right? And the thing was, Sam, his manager, I know y'all seen the white boy Sam. Sam literally said to me, he's like, man, you're in a good spot with Dion. Don't mess it up. Right? And all I'm gonna say to you is this, is that the offer was pitched to me to be the Neely of Dion, right? Like that was on the table, like to be the Neely, to be that was on the table essentially, right? To be like, hey, we want you to do this and we want this to be you and all this. But at some point in time, like certain things, and don't get me wrong, Dion is still one of my favorite athletes. I mean, I had the bandana, I did the dance and all that. But at some point, your morals and values of how you're raised and how you're taught or whatever have to come into play. And you can't just push that stuff down because of a paycheck or an opportunity or the possibility that you're cool with a celebrity and he knows your name. And he, like, certain times you just got to stand on what you got to stand on who you are. You got to stand on what you believe in, and you got to stand on that no matter the consequences. So when people come up here and say, Scotty, well, you know, it sounds nice. And what did you give up? And what did you like? I probably gave up an opportunity to make hundreds of $1,000s being Dion's puppet. I probably missed out on over. I could have been Dion's puppet and had 50 to 70. I'm better than HBCU game day. So you don't think that if I was Dion's puppet, I wouldn't be at 100K? If I wasn't pushing the narrative of what Dion wanted me to push or whatever, that if everything Dion did was perfect and everything Dion did was so great and so grand, and I would have had Jackson State fans eating out the palm of my hand. I would have had Colorado fans eating out the palm of my hand. I would be at 100K like Neely, just cooling and chilling. But that was against who I am. That was against my morals, my values, and standing in what I believe in. Like, yo, that's wrong. That's not right. You shouldn't say that. You shouldn't do that. And speaking out against it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where do you go? What do you choose? Do you choose your niche, or do you choose your market, or I'm sorry. I'm not going to go too deep into that. All I'm saying is I'm not talking from a place where hasn't affected me. There's days I had to talk to my wife and like, babe, do you think I made the right choice? And she said, can you sleep at night? And I said, I can. She said, then you make the right choice. Because she said, because I know you'll be like, man, that ain't right. It would haunt me. It would eat me up inside because I didn't speak out against it. So when you see me do a lot of these shows, it's not because I want to bash anybody. It's because I just see right and wrong. I don't see bashing. I see right and wrong, smart and dumb. That's how my brain works. I don't get on here and say, oh, I'm a bash FAMU, or I'm a bash this. No, I just see right and wrong. And I'm like, smart and dumb. That's a dumb decision. Why would you do that? This is smart. This is bad. Right? So for anything, and the crazy thing is, and how my relationship with Dion Jr., Bucky came about, was Bucky, he's like, yo, I respect you. He said, I respect that you stood on business. I respect that you have your opinion, and just because you cool with me or, whatever, you don't change. You are who you are. And that's anybody who knows me is going to tell you, Scotty is who he is. There's no changing him. Now, you can make it make sense, or you can logically tell me something. I'm like, oh, dang, I was wrong. Okay, my bad. But at the end of the day, I'm going to stand on what I believe in and the values and morals my mama taught me to get to me where I'm at right here. Right? That's why I can come on my channel and apologize for something I said if I did it wrong, or I got the bad information or whatever. I can come on here and apologize for it because it's like, dang, that's on me. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. Right? Boom. But if you don't have the fortitude to stand on what is right and what could be beneficial to not just for you, but for the landscape of HB, every president in AD should get behind this APR, because it all affects us. It affects all of us. Every president should be behind this lawsuit because they know how APR has affected the institutions and how it's affected HBCUs. You're trying to judge us on a school who got 30. You're giving. How can the same calculation for a school with 35,000 kids match up to a school with 7,000? What? Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? That's my little 2 cents, man. But, hey, listen, it is what it is. But I appreciate y'all, man. Listen, I appreciate every one of you guys. I really, really do. I thank y'all for tuning into the show. I know I've been absent for a minute. I'm going to try to get some timestamps for here because I went pretty long. I didn't mean to go this long. But at the end of the day, I just want the HBCUs to understand the value, one, together, and what they bring. And you just got to know it. You got to know, like, when business people sit in front of you, you got to know what is not going to be allowed. Like, for the simple fact that somebody at NCCU thought it was smart to do a deal where if the school did the work that they still had to pay the white man, that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy, but that just shows you how bad business is. And I'm going to keep telling y'all, you could have the biggest donation in the world to athletics, but if your money is getting siphoned away from you slowly but surely, you're going to be in the same predicament. You're going to be in the same predicament. Mr. Sargent, coming to you.
Brother Scotty, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, sir?
All right, man. I just wanted to call, give you opportunity to breathe. You gave us a whole lot.
A long sermon.
You gave us a lot, brother.
A long sermon.
But look. That's what happens when you spend so much time away from us. So let me get the first stuff out of the way. First of all, welcome back. We missed you. And we don't miss you like Agent Smith, Mrs. Neo. We honestly miss you.
Appreciate it.
So listen, let me throw this at you. And since you're talking to Brother Campbell, then you pretty much know where I am. I've always thought it to be very weird that HBCUs tout and brag and beat their chest. And when I say HBCUs, I mean the presidents and administration, about how well they're able to take our young people, our young Black manhood and womanhood, bring them into our institutions and produce some of the best employees, entrepreneurs, et cetera, that the world has ever seen. And they go from Will Packer all the way up to Martin Luther King. And we've done that historically, right?
Yes, sir.
But at the same time, they don't allow a lot of those very talented, very famous alumni to come back and reinvest in meaningful ways in the university. And I always thought that was weird because it would almost be like if Microsoft, makers of Windows, 2013 and all the other operating systems that they have, if they use IBM's operating system, right, for their computers inside of Microsoft. We need to use and leverage our own people and our own products and have faith that those people that we train and send out there are really good and good at what they do. I love your idea about having a consultant, right? If I was going to do some kind of movie thing, I'd be calling up Will Packard. If I wanted to get some kind of insurance stuff for all of the students at Florida A&M, I would call the vice president at AAA, a brother by the name of Kelly. He's an alumni of the university. I consider him to be a good friend. He's an alpha. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we have people in real estate in every place and around the world. There were rattlers I was hollering at when I was in Paris, and they were in China, and we were communicating about FAMU football back in 98 and 99 when we were all working. So, but Scotty, thank you so much for this. I don't want to even add to everything you said about deals and stuff like that, but I think I do want to say this. I believe the ghost of Gaucher is haunting FAMU. I know this wasn't about FAMU, but I think he tried to get us on the right path, to success and financial stability. And I think, man, that's going to come back to bite us. The only thing that could correct our ship is if we get some new people in administration who are forward thinking and are willing to reach out and reach back to get the best and the brightest from FAMU or any HBCU that would love to come back and help us move it along. Thanks, Scotty. Talk to you soon.
No, appreciate it, Mr. Sargent. And listen, every institution has those guys. Mr. Sargent about to rev me back up. Every HBCU has those guys. You have those women and men that are impactful in their industry that can come back and be an advocate or be a voice for where they're at and how they got there, right? Because you'll use them for a job fair, right? You'll use them for a job fair. Hey, come down here and talk to. You'll have them speak at that, but you won't have them integrate into your business at the school. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. Like, how? Okay. All I'm going to say is this. If I'm FAMU, right, and I have a media and journalism department, and I'm seeing the land. I'm seeing the Country Waynes. I'm seeing the Kevlin stages. I'm seeing the avenue. I know you guys see them ads on Facebook and TikTok where people have those short stories and stuff like that. I would be doing the same damn thing. Why would I not have I would take Country Wayne's model and I would implement it in the university because, one, you're teaching kids how to direct. You're teaching kids how to build a story, how to move through, as well as bringing eyes to FAMU. Because there's going to be kids who watch the FAMU reels or whatever you want to, you can call it the FAMU folk tales or the FAMU, whatever you want to call it. FAMU high, whatever you want to call it. Right? And you just make a storyline or a plot with a few kids and make a soap opera, keep it clean, keep it fun, keep it fresh, right? It could just be simple stuff like, you're a new student, you get dropped off, you trying to find where the bursar's office is, right? You like, hey, can you take me to the bursar's offices? I don't know you, right? Like, hey, can you take me to the bursar's office? And then you meet one kid, the kid, it's you a dude, the kid's a girl, she walking and talking with you. You like, oh man, that's cool. You walking up to the bursar's office, what I'm saying? She's like, hey, he's a new student. He needs help. Like, that is how that stuff is working. And what you're going to have people outside of FAMU watch it. You're going to have FAMU alums watch it. And you never know where it could go. You really don't. Will Packer might pick it up. Now you got a series, right? Like you got your own power series for FAMU. Like that is the landscape of media now. It's not just the traditional sideline reporting and all that. It is the creativity. It's all of that mixed into one. It's all of that. It's I'm sorry, man. All I'm saying is that you're Country Wayne is a millionaire from doing outside of, if you've never heard the Country Wayne story of how he became rich or whatever, he literally said he was broke during COVID. He started doing these soaps and Facebook started paying him money and waboom, like he just blew up with the soaps and that's all he does now. He just does these soaps and they pay him millions. I think he said he makes like 10, 15 million from these soaps for 4 to 5 minutes. 3 episodes a day, 4 to 5 minutes, he making millions. But you got a whole freaking campus full of young men and women who could probably act, sing, dance, all that. You could literally do Blackish, the show Blackish, the HBCU version. I mean, when the girls went to college, you could literally do that at your own institution. So the HBCU-ish, right? Like you could make it a whole series from different HBCUs and every school has its own soap. Oh my gosh. I'm done. I'm like, you got old school, you got free, you got late, and all you do is rev share it with the kids that are participating. That's it. Whatever money you bring in, you share it. You give them something. It's NIL or whatever you want to call it. I don't know. God, dog, don't get me on to the nuances, but it's possible, man. It's just like those are the things that you could be doing that make HBCUs different because while one, we black, one, we make everything cool. The fashion gonna be crazy. The women gonna be scrumptious, okay? And it's gonna be entertaining. Okay, last thing. You could have a whole episode on the Pretty Wednesdays at Southern. You could have a whole 4 or 5 episode series of just girls getting ready for Pretty Wednesday. Like, girl, what you gonna wear for Pretty Wednesday? Girl, I think I'm gonna go with these cut up shorts with this halter top. Like, nah, girl, you know such and such gonna be down there. You gotta really bring it. Like, your hair not done, your makeup not done. Like, girl, I'm gonna get that ready. You know, I got my little push up on. I'm ready. Like, oh, I'm set. Then the guys, you know, you got to go to the guys, and the guys talk about like, hey, listen, I'm hoping Tamisha be down there. You know, I'm trying to holler at Tamisha. You know what I'm saying, on Pretty Wednesday. You know that. You know she feeling your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tamisha, man, Tamisha ain't feeling you, boy. Like that's what it looked like. That's what it looked like. They already on TikTok. I'm sorry, man. I don't. That's it. I just. It really bothers me. But you would have kids wanting to go to HBCUs just to be in the series. You would have people wanting to be a part of HBC. It would be a different world. Oh, thank you, God. It would be the 2024 version of a different world. What a different world was for the 90s and the 80s, or 80s, 90s. Well, I don't know when different world came out, right? The 90s or whatever, is what now you're just reinventing a different world for TikTok and for Facebook and Instagram Reels. That's really what you're doing. It's just a real world look into a different world. And it's still scripted, it's still choreographed and all that. But that's really what you're doing. So now do you know, as much as kids love TikTok, to see a series about HBCUs a reality special through TikTok, through Reels, like, that would be fire. That would be fire. And people would, and the girls and the guys would be like, man, like, I want to be in the series. Like, I would want to go there just to kind of see if I can meet such and such, or see if I can see it. Like, the kids are going to be mini celebrities. So now you got many celebrities on your campus that are bringing attention. Like, it's like a college love in Huntsville marriage, but it's clean. And I mean, it's still edgy because it's college, but it's clean, right? It's still choreographed. It's still scripted. Because Wayne stuff is scripted. Like, they know what they're going to say. Like, but see, College Hill, my issue with College Hill is you're using celebrities already to promote, and that's not good, because kids can't relate because they're not a celebrity, right? Like, they're like, oh, that's only cool because such and such. But when you make normal kids the celebrity, that's what makes it feel like I can do that, right? Like, when you're just using random kids that you've never heard before or never seen before, and they're becoming mini celebrities in a mini series that people are interested in watching, right? That's what makes it entertaining. When you use celebrities for it, it's just whack. It's just the regular day. You know what I'm saying? So, got you, Peasy. Got you. So, I'm sorry. I'm going all over the place with that, but you know what I'm saying? It's possible, man. And you just gotta stay in the day and age. And I know, I'm so sorry I'm rambling. I know you guys are like so done with me by now, but it's just so much that there's, like I said, there's just so much value in what it is and what people have. Like, it's just there. It's just there. It's right in front of you with the free labor, the people, the creative people, right? Like, you got the kids that are creative. You, like, everything is right in front of you. All you need somebody to do is put it in a box. That's all. Like, to me, I thought that was like, college is to bring something out of you, right? So you allow these kids to be creative. You allow these kids to see their potentials and what they can do and be a director or be a stager or be a script writer. Like, you see all these people and you give them the opportunity to do that, because Country Wayne does it on the iPhone. Country Wayne shoots all his shit on the iPhone, making millions on the iPhone. On the iPhone. What are we talking about? And the first thing people would tell me is, Scotty, we don't have the equipment. The nigga does it on the iPhone. That's all he do. One person talking, the other person talk. One person talking, the other person. Like, that's all that person be doing. I'm done. I'm getting up out of here. Y'all about to make me lose my voice. Listen, man, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm going to put some timestamps on here so you guys can go back and watch it all again. Listen, there's some big stuff coming down the pipe with HBCU League Pass, man. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, the train is about to fill up. It's about to be crazy. All right? It's definitely about to be crazy. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.